My name is Ethan, and I spent my weekends exploring abandoned places. Ghost stories never scared me because I believed every haunted location had a logical explanation. When the villagers warned me to stay away from Blackwood Mansion, I laughed. They claimed everyone who entered after sunset either disappeared forever or returned, changed. Curiosity won. The front gate creaked open with almost no effort. As I stepped onto the overgrown path leading to the mansion, an icy wind swept past me. The enormous wooden front door slowly opened by itself before I even touched it. Inside, the silence was unbearable. Dust floated through the beam of my flashlight. Torn wallpaper peeled from the walls, and ancient family portraits hung crookedly in the hallway. As I walked past one portrait, I froze. The woman's painted eyes had shifted. They were looking directly at me. I blinked several times, convincing myself it was just my imagination, and continued deeper into the mansion. A loud bang echoed from upstairs, then another. My flashlight flickered. "Hello?" I called. No answer. Only slow footsteps echoed somewhere above me. I climbed the staircase anyway. The second floor contained dozens of abandoned bedrooms, each covered in thick layers of dust. One room stood out from the others because its door was slightly open. Inside was a massive library. Books covered every wall, but one object immediately caught my attention: an old leather diary resting on a wooden desk. The pages were yellow with age. The final entry read, "If you're reading this, it's already watching you." A cold chill spread through my body. Just then, every chandelier in the mansion began swinging violently. Doors slammed shut throughout the house. The air suddenly became freezing cold. Then I heard it. Ethan. Someone whispered my name directly into my ear. I spun around. Nobody was there. I hurried toward the hallway, only to stop dead in my tracks. At the far end stood a figure unlike anything I had ever seen. It was unnaturally tall. Its skin looked cracked like old porcelain. Its arms stretched almost to the floor. Its glowing white eyes never blinked. Then it smiled. The smile stretched impossibly wide across its face. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run, so I did. I sprinted down the hallway, but something wasn't right. The mansion had changed. Every hallway led back to the same staircase. Every door opened into the same corridor. No matter where I ran, I always ended up exactly where I had started. Behind me, I could hear slow footsteps. The creature never rushed. It didn't need to. It knew I couldn't escape. While searching desperately for another exit, I discovered a hidden staircase beneath a torn carpet. It led into a massive underground chamber. Ancient symbols covered the stone walls. Broken candles surrounded a giant ritual circle. Hundreds of faded photographs were pinned across one wall. Each showed a different missing person: children, travelers, police officers, explorers. Every single one had entered Blackwood Mansion alone, and none had ever left. That's when I realized the horrifying truth. The creature wasn't trapped inside the mansion was trapping people for the creature. I raced back upstairs and reached the front entrance. The door wouldn't open. I smashed a nearby window with a chair. The glass didn't even crack. The walls began trembling. The floorboards groaned beneath my feet. The entire house was alive. Dark shadows crawled across the ceiling as the creature slowly stepped into the room. It stopped only a few feet away. Then it spoke, using my own voice. "Welcome home." My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. Remembering the diary, I grabbed an old lantern from the wall and lit it. The creature let out a horrifying scream. Blue flames spread through the mansion. The walls cracked. The ceiling collapsed. The front door burst open. Without looking back, I ran into the pouring rain. I didn't stop until the mansion disappeared behind the trees. The next morning, I returned with the police. There was no mansion, no gate, no underground chamber, only an empty field. They thought I imagined everything. Weeks passed. Life slowly returned to normal. Then one morning, while brushing my teeth, I noticed something strange. My reflection blinked. A second later than I did. I stared at it. It smiled. I wasn't smiling. Every day after that, it changed a little more. Its smile became wider. Its eyes never looked away from mine. Last night, it leaned closer to the glass and whispered, "Your turn to watch."